Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be just based on the fact that there is more division happening, particularly here in America, amongst the people. And we know that that's going to ultimately result in civil war and race wars breaking out here in America. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to get some precepts, and Lord's will you're edified. Luke 12:51, suppose ye that I'm come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. And that's exactly what the Heavenly Father is doing. Because here in New York, the mayoral election took place. What was it, like 2 days ago? And Zohran Mamdani, or Mamdani, got elected as the mayor. And I believe he's like Indian and Muslim. And there's a bunch of Edomites, so-called white people freaking out, losing their minds, being their typical racist, hateful self, and one thing that a lot of people have mentioned is that ever since Trump got in office, these Edomites have been just more bold with their racism, whether it's towards so-called black people, so-called Latinos, so-called Asians, so-called, just basically just anybody who's not a white person, a so-called white person. And this recent mayoral election just showed that even more, because you had Edomites in Texas, in Tennessee, nowhere near New York, had nothing to do with what's going on in New York, throwing a tantrum because Zohran Mamdani got elected as the mayor of New York. And it's like, why are these Edomites getting so bent out of shape over a city that they don't even a mayoral election in a city that they're not even from? And that's because these Edomites, they can see that they're ultimately losing power. The very thing that they're afraid of is what the Lord has manifesting, and that's them being brought down. Because one of the arguments that these Edomites always have is that they are afraid that they're going to get replaced by brown-skinned people. And then now here in New York, instead of Andrew Cuomo, who I believe is an Edomite, instead of him being the mayor, or some other Edomite, it's a brown-skinned person, a so-called Indian Muslim, And these Edomites, these so-called white people, they don't like that. They want to see someone that looks like them everywhere, always in positions of power. They don't like to see anybody that doesn't look like them in any position of power. So when someone that doesn't look like them does end up in a position of power, these Edomites, they start losing their mind. And we know what happens when these Edomites start feeling some type of way. They become aggressive and they become violent. And that's part of where the race wars are going to kick in, because these Edomites, they're going to go after anybody that does not look like them, because that's what they always want to do. They always want to target brown-skinned people, because for the longest, these Edomites have been lied to and told that they're better than everybody else. But in reality, these Edomites are the lowest on the totem pole. And reality is starting to kick in for them, and they don't like it. So they're definitely going to start lashing out physically against brown skinned people more and more. But that is the division that the Lord is causing, because the Lord is going to destroy America. He's going to destroy it by bringing down the economy. He's going to destroy it by causing division amongst the people, which is going to result in civil wars and race wars. The Lord is going to cause famines to be here and pestilences to take over this place. And ultimately, the Lord is going to nuke this place. Second Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And it's becoming more and more dangerous to be here in America. The division is becoming more intense. The violence and the threats being made are becoming more intense. But those of us of the hopeful elect, we understand that this is all part of the Heavenly Father's program. And we trust that as long as we're doing the things which according to the scriptures are pleasing in the eyes of the Lord, that He's going to keep His hedge of protection over us and His angels encamped around about us who fear Him. And that no matter how bad things get, He's going to keep us safe. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. And those of us of the hopeful elect, we have that wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures that's keeping us stable. That's why as America continues to collapse and more chaos takes over this place, we're not going to be freaking out like everybody else. We're going to just trust that the Lord is going to keep us safe. We're going to continue to read these scriptures. We're going to continue to be circumspect. We're going to continue to send up prayers to the Lord. We're going to continue to rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability and follow the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, and just stay on this path that the Lord has placed us on. Meanwhile, all of these wicked people, whether they're Israelites or heathens who love this place and want to uphold this place, they're going to continue to freak out because this place is collapsing, and it doesn't matter who they elect as the mayor, as the governor, as the president. It's not going to save this place because America is Babylon the Great, and the judgment for this place is for it to be destroyed with a flame of devouring fire. That's where that nuclear destruction comes into play. Exodus 15:3. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. And that's right, the Heavenly Father is a man of war. And civil war, race wars, and ultimately world war is going to break out. And in the end, America is going to cease to exist. So for all the, in particular, Edomites, these so-called self-proclaimed white people who are scratching and clawing and whining and throwing anything and everything at the wall and hoping that it sticks so that they can, quote unquote, save America, it's not going to work because the Heavenly Father himself hates this place and he's going to destroy it. And the Lord is going to destroy all of those who want to uphold this place. Like I said, whether it's so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Asians, Edomites, it doesn't matter. Anybody that wants to uphold this wicked place is an enemy to the Heavenly Father. And they're going to be taken out right along with this wicked place. And Adawan Ratazah, those of us of the hopeful elect have been slated from the foundation of the world to endure unto the end and be saved. And not get caught up in this destruction that this world desperately needs in order for the kingdom of heaven to finally be established. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash, the water Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.